Two big cases are making headlines in Canada this week. First, the case of 6 boys now facing charges in connection with an alleged sexual assault at a prestigious private school in Toronto. The second case, a guilty verdict being upheld after defense arguments of sexsomnia. With a look at both of these cases, we're joined by Tanya Walker of Walker Law. Tanya, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so what are some of the legal considerations in this St. Mike's case? Because we're hearing a lot of different stories in the media.
Well, one legal consideration is that when you're over the age of 15 or so, you could be sentenced as an adult. So that's one legal consideration, is that although they are under the age of 18, they may face the penalties of someone as an adult. Another legal consideration is that when this happened before, something similar in 1999, the young adults, all they had to do was apologize. In this situation, they're charged, and it shows that we're taking bullying and harassment much more seriously.
Yeah, and this is playing out on social media in a way that never did before.
Right.
The implications for the media itself, the press. It's going to be a really interesting thing to watch. One of the threads that people are pulling at right now is the role of the principal and therefore the role of the school. Could the school be held liable in any way?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think criminally, but there might be the chance civilly if there's a civil lawsuit, because if the school knew and this type of behavior was permitted before and didn't do anything about it, there is a chance that the school might be held liable. Realistically, I think the school would probably settle instead of going all the way to a trial.
Obviously, I don't think that there's any chance that the public is ever going to see these videos that allegedly exist that show these sexual assaults happening. But what sort of role will those play in the criminal proceedings going forward?
Well, it will be very difficult for the accused, all 6 of them, to say, I didn't do it, because the video speaks for itself. The evidence is there. And
yet the principal said in his statements that he didn't recognize the boys in the video. So perhaps that means that their faces were obscured in some way.
It may be, or, I mean, the schools have a number of people, so maybe he wasn't familiar with them. So I'm not too sure why he didn't recognize the boys in the video. However, now that they have been recognized and identified, it's going to be very difficult for them to say that they didn't participate in those acts. And there's 2 acts. There's one assault, and there's another one where someone was kind of slapped around in a sink. So there's 2 situations that happened very close together, and it doesn't look very good for the school.
All right, let's quickly touch on this second case. A judge ruled in a case of sexsomnia. A lot of people don't know that expression. So why don't you tell us what's interesting about this case?
Well, sexsomnia is when you can be held not criminally responsible for committing an assault while you are asleep.
Is it something that is real? Or is it something that this person was hoping would be viewed as real?
I can't speak for what he was hoping for, but it has been dealt with 13 times before, and at least 4 times, someone has been held not criminally responsible for this. In this situation, I thought that it would have been very difficult for him to succeed, because he already went to trial. He already said he wasn't near the young woman, and he was found guilty, and then he appealed, he lost the appeal, and then he went to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal said, okay, we'll send it back for a new trial on this issue only, and then the evidence he presented on that issue only contradicted the original evidence. And
that original evidence was admissible in this case?
Yes.
Okay, so he had a great lawyer. Tanya Walker, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right.